Oh my god, I love purple. Purple is my life. Hi guys, my name is Raemie Reyes and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week we are focusing all around my favorite color, which is purple, and I'm super excited about this because there's some fun eyeliner, some fun stuff going on, and we're using some products that I haven't used yet on YouTube. So without further ado, let's really have some fun with it and get started. Alright, so one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to clean and tone my face using a Temptu Primer. And with that, I'm just going to put a little pea size on my hands, rub it into my skin really nice and neatly. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Sticks in the color Y245. And with this, I'm going to now fix the areas in my T-zone. So I'm just helping to cover up all my problems, which are right here in this area, as you guys can totally see. And that's going to help to disguise them and cover it a little bit later before I put on my foundation. Now for my foundation, I'm going to use the E.L.F. Flawless Finish Foundation in the colors Sand and the colors Buff. Now I have to mix colors in order to get my luscious skin tone because, you know, I tan weirdly, so sometimes I have like a little bit darker areas than not, and sometimes I don't really match and I'm kind of yellow. So I like to mix my colors in order to get the perfect shade. With that, I'm going to put on my foundation on my face and then use a beauty blender to make sure that everything is blended and the beauty is all nice and smooth. Next step is creating my eyebrows. So I like to keep the shape of my eyebrows. So what I like to do is I like to focus a little bit more on the arch as well as extending out the tail area. But I usually keep pretty much the same shape that I naturally have. And so I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Perfect Brow Pencil in 2 different shades. Now I like to mix all my shades because that's just kind of my thing. I like it to like blend and, you know, do that whole thing. So I want it to look natural and not everything is like one color, I feel. So I'm going to go in with soft brown and medium brown, and I'm going to go back and forth between the pencils. Really shaping out my eyebrow and then making sure I'm using the spoolie at the end of the pencil to really make sure that those lines are blended and that it looks natural. So really this is just more for a personal preference. I like to do this method because it really helps to shape my brows as well as help to make the highlight that I'm going to put on my brow bone later pop a lot more. So I'm going to go in my Temptu Pro SB Concealer Wheel, and I'm going to use the second to lightest color, and I'm just going to use a flat brush and follow the bottom shape of my eyebrow and then flick down the concealer into my lid to kind of create that like blend going downwards. So now in order to create my purpley sultry eyes, I'm going to go in with a Lorac Pro 1 palette, and with this I'm going to use the color Mauve as my crease color. And so with that, I'm going to go straight into the natural crease of your eyelid, and I'm just going to apply the color all the way in between here, not touching my lid very much or the tops of my eyebrow bone. And then I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that that's pretty blended in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in with the Tartelette Amazon Clay Matte Palette, and with this we are going to now deepen up our purple crease. So instead of just putting it into the crease in the corner, I'm going to make sure that I'm overlapping Mauve completely. So what we're going to do is just kind of overlap the 2 colors and then make sure that it is all blended in order to create more of a deeper crease color. Now to really change things up, we're going to go in with the Lorac Pro 1 palette again, and we're going to use the color Sable and Expresso in order to deepen up just the crease area, so it's just the outwards of your eyes, and then we're just going to make sure that everything is really blended into our purples and the rest of the crease. So now for the super tedious part of this entire tutorial. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the NYX Vivid Brights Vivid Blossom. So it's more of a very pastel-y purple liner. And I'm going to create a very, very bold winged liner. I like to wing out from the corners first and then connecting the wing inwards. And then what I'm going to do is to make sure that it is standing out and it does pop, I am going to go in with a Starry eyeliner gel in the color Black Asphalt, and this is a gel liner. So with that, I'm going to use a very sharp angled brush. I'm just going to follow the bottom part and the bottom lines of Vivid Blossom. So I'm just going to create my line at the bottom, of this line here and then start connecting it very slowly, keeping very close to my lash line because I still want to see a lot of the purple, but I just want the black to make it stand out even more so. So it's a little bit more of that push out and it's a little bit more of a drastic change in between the pastel purple and then the stark black line. What I'm going to do now is, since I am a huge concealer fan, I'm going to go in with the NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer. And then I'm also going to go in with the E.L.F. Under Eye Concealer and Highlighter. So I like to mix my concealers because, again, I'm a concealer girl and nobody likes bags and nobody wants dark circles and blah, blah, blah. I'm totally that person. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with my concealer and bring it downwards towards my cheek areas, but nothing too high from past the cheekbone, as well as bring it right under my nose because I do have a little bit of a redness down here. And then I'm going to use my Beauty Blender in order to blend that in. And then I'm going to go in with my Kryolan Anti-Shine Powder in Colorless and really make sure that I'm setting that entire area that I use the concealer. I want to make sure that I'm really setting it. So we're going to go ahead and use that powder to do so. To create my perfect bronze, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Medium Matte Chocolate Bronzer. And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to chisel out my face now. So this is giving me a little bit more of the, like, bringing me back to life. So I like to sink in my cheeks just a little bit, make the fishy face, and go from inside the cheek area, so where the lips and the cheeks start to meet, up to my ear. And then I like to go ahead and cover around the frame of my face, bringing it around my jawline, kind of bringing it down my neck, making everything very subtle. The matte helps to make it look more on the natural, this is normal skin tone. And then I like to go ahead and use more of a dewier finish, so I like the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion. Now this is going to go everywhere that I put the Too Faced bronzer. And so with that, I am just following the same instructions that I did before now with this. It's just now giving me more of a dewier, deeper finish. Now to add me a little pop of pink, I'm going to go in with the NARS Orgasm Blush. And with that, I'm just going to smile at myself and make sure I'm getting the apples of my cheeks and bringing it into the inners of my ear. I still haven't figured out what this is called, so I'm going to go with the tragus. So I just kind of make like a U shape into my ear. It's really easy. Just smile at yourself. Make it happen. So now for my highlight, which I'm totally a fan of. So I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever Compact Shine On in the color Flesh. And I'm going to use my little fan brush and make sure it goes on the highs of my cheekbones, a little bit into my temple area, as well as the bridge of my nose, a little bit on the tip here, my Cupid's bow, and then right under my chin. So it's very, very subtle. But it's still just a nice amount of glow that when that light hits you, you're going to be like, bam, girl, I'm good, and I'm looking cute. That's what I like. For my smokiness at the bottom, I am going to go back into my Tartelette palette, and I'm going to use the color Best Friend, the same colors that we put on our eyes before. And I'm going to go ahead and use my Morphe S20 brush and really get into the pigment of Best Friend and then smudge out the bottom area of my lashes. So I'm going pretty deep, pretty far over, and I'm just kind of like letting it have it. And you know, this is also a personal preference, so if you don't want to go as much or a different color, you can absolutely do that. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Smashbox Full Exposure Mascara in the color Jet Black, and with this I'm going to now brush over my bottom lashes in order to make sure that they are just as dark as my lash extensions on top. Now, I can tell you this right now, I would never forget my highlight, and I was waiting till the end because this is super important, but I'm going to go in with the MAC Pigment Color Powder in the color Gesso, and I'm going to use this for both my brow highlight as well as my inner highlight. So I'm just going to follow the bottom arch part of my brow, which is where we put the concealer earlier, and then I'm just going to dust in a little bit in the corners here on both sides, making it very pigmented and very white-ish, and making sure that we're super highlighted in that area. Our final step is going to be putting on some lipstick. So I'm going to go in with the Lorac Highly Pigmented Lipstick in the color Flirt. And I'm not going to do any lip liner. I'm just going to rub on the lipstick and use a defining brush to make sure that I'm getting every angle and crease and making sure that everything is pretty much outlined just like a lip liner would. Alright guys, there you have it. There is your full face tutorial with some fun and purpley crazy eyeliner. I hope you guys are inspired to really recreate this look and maybe make it your own, maybe putting in some eyeliner that is your favorite color. Make sure you are subscribing to this channel and giving this video a huge thumbs up. Super important, just make sure you're subscribing because I am doing a huge giveaway at 500 subscribers. In order to be eligible for that, you have to be subscribed. Also, big news, I started a new Instagram called Raemiemakeup and it's all about makeup. Make sure you guys are also following me on that as well. Until next week, I will see you then.